So you'd like to know how to make this? Well, you're in the right place. I'm Helen Miles and I'm here to teach you all the tips and tricks you need to make mosaics. I'm going to be making this mosaic using a pre-cut MDF shape. These pre-cut bases are very good for mosaics. They're fantastic because all the work is done for you. They're cut, they're the right thickness. This is, I think, about 6 millimeters thick. And you also get them in different thicknesses. This one I'd say is about 4 millimeters. The thing is, you don't want to go for those super thin ones because the wood won't be able to sustain the moisture which is in the tile adhesive that we're going to use. So I would say 4 is probably the thinnest. There is a huge range of shapes and styles to choose from. There's this fish, and I also have a lovely hen. Just look online, you'll see all the options out there. As long as you make sure it's the right thickness, the world is your oyster in terms of what shape to use. The first thing I'm going to do is paint the back of this shape. Obviously it doesn't make any difference which side you use, but I want to paint it first because you don't want paint anywhere near the finished work. So best to paint it first, and then the painting bit is over. This is a wood paint. It's actually an exterior wood paint, but I don't suppose it matters if I want to use it indoors. That's it with one coat on. I might add another coat later, depending on how I feel. I'm not painting the edges because these cut-out shapes already are coloured on the sides. However, the thicker one that I've got, this bird, is just naked on the side. So if I was using that, I would paint the side as well, the edge. I ended up doing 2 coats of paint on the back, and now I'm ready to prepare the front. So for that, I need sandpaper. This is kind of medium weight, a Stanley knife, and PVA glue. This is called PVA glue and sealer, but basically it's just PVA glue. So don't run out and get special sealer because PVA does the job. The reason I'm doing this is because the wood is porous and because it's smooth. So by roughing it up with sandpaper and the Stanley knife, I get a nice rough surface so that the adhesive can adhere, can stick better onto the surface. And the PVA is in order to seal the wood, to stop the moisture from the tile adhesive thinset from seeping into it. First, a quick buff with the sandpaper. Next, score it with the Stanley knife in a crisscross pattern. Finally, I'm going to paint it with the PVA. That's a blob of PVA in there, and I'm going to mix it with an equal part of water. That's slightly over, but it doesn't matter. And mix that thoroughly, and then paint a layer onto the wood. I've been having a little think about colours and materials. And I think I've decided on this lovely plate, which has got lots of colours in it. So mainly the strongest colour is this kind of goldy yellow. And then I've got other plates, the backs particularly, because I want something contrasty. Because this is very, very busy, and I don't have enough of it to cover the whole board. So I want to mix it with something, but I will of course keep that lovely motif in the center of this plate. I've also got this jar of mixed greeny blues, just kind of offcuts from other projects, which I might insert now and again. So I'm just going to have that next to me as I'm working. So for the glue, I'm using tile adhesive thinset, which is the Max Flex fibre from Bal, but you can use any type of tile adhesive thinset that's suitable for your project. In other words, if you want it to be outdoors, make sure it's one that's designed to be outdoors. I've also added a little bit of pigment to it. This is called Clashach Light. I buy my pigments, or some of them, from Mason's Mortar. And I've mixed it up in a big tub so that I know that I have enough mixed for the whole project. And I think this pigment will work well with the plate and the colours that I've chosen. The other thing that I need, of course, is tools. I imagine that I'm mostly going to use these very ordinary wheeled nippers to cut the plates. The good thing about these is their bite is very close, so that something really thin, like this plate, will be easy to cut with this tool. And for anything thicker, I have these compound nippers, which also have a close bite. Remember, when you're using tile adhesive, to wear your dust mask. Tile adhesive thinset is a cement compound, and it has a very light dust which can get into your lungs. So always wear a good mask when you're mixing it, when it's dry. Once it's wet, it's not necessary. The thing about tile adhesive thinset, which I hope you know from watching my other videos, is that it forms a thick paste. So I'll link in the description below how to find the other videos which explain in detail the proportions and the method of mixing both the adhesive and adding the pigment. So the fact that you have a paste, a thick sort of gunk, means that you can use all different kinds of materials in your mosaics with this. So you can use plates, as I'm doing, or you could be using pebbles and shells and glass and old bits of jewellery and beads. I mean, you have a huge variety of things that are available to you when you're using this method. The first thing I'm going to do with my plate is to try and cut out as much of this, the central design, as possible, without cutting through it. But the beauty of mosaics, obviously, is it doesn't matter if you cut through it, because you can then piece it back together. Now I'm going to remove, as much as possible, this outer rim, again aiming to keep the flowers in the centre. The next thing I want to do is to keep a lot of this lovely edge around the plate, and these little bits, these little bouquets in the rim. So I'm just going to cut away and see how much of this I can keep and how many of those. I've done my cutting, as you can see, and I've got a broad plan. So it's tempting to do a lot of planning before you start laying, and it's a good idea to get the essence of what you want to achieve. In other words, to have the materials ready and to have chosen the colours, but don't dry lay the whole thing. Indeed, I think I've gone a little bit too far with dry laying this, because obviously I have to take it all off in order to put the tile adhesive down. And now I'm ready to lay the petals. So I'm first of all spreading a thin layer of tile adhesive thinset. It's called a scratch coat, because you can hear it scratching. And then I'm laying a thicker layer. And I'm going to make that layer fairly smooth by spreading it and constantly cleaning the back of my spatula. I took a little break after doing 2 petals, and because this is tile adhesive thinset, it's going to set extremely hard. So if you ever need to stop work, you need to remove all the excess tile adhesive around the pieces you've already laid, because it will be hard work to chip it off later. The thing I want you to notice is that although this is quite rough work, everything is not really beautifully and precisely laid, I'm being fairly careful around the edges because I want a nice smooth edge. So I'm using the flat side of the shape, mostly squares, against the flat side, or the curved side rather, of the shape. And you also want to remove the excess tile adhesive thinset around the edges, as I said before, and you can just do this with your finger. You can make it nice and smooth with your finger like that. There you have it. I'm just going to leave this to dry and then it will be ready. And here's the finished mosaic. This would look lovely by itself up on a wall, or you can make lots of them, all using different colours, and have them as a collection. If you like this video and you'd like to see more, then please subscribe below.